Khamzat Chimaev.
It finally happened. The moment fans had been waiting on for years. The boogeyman of the UFC, Khamzat Chimaev, walked into the octagon for his very first shot at UFC Gold. And standing across from him was the South African warrior who refused to bow to anyone, the reigning middleweight king, Dricus Du Plessis. For months, fans argued over how this would play out. Could the undefeated wrecking machine really dominate the champ the same way he steamrolled everyone else? Or would Du Plessis prove, once and for all, that the belt wasn't going anywhere? By the time UFC 319 ended, those questions had been answered, and the results shocked the MMA world. This story didn't start in August 2025. Its roots stretch back nearly a year earlier, in October 2024. That night, Khamzat Chimaev demolished Robert Whittaker, a former champion and one of the most respected fighters in the division. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement. In less than 4 minutes, Whittaker was dismantled, and the message was clear. Chimaev was coming for gold. Du Plessis, meanwhile, had been carving out his own path. After snatching the belt from Sean Strickland, he silenced doubters with a rematch that left no debate. Fans may not have wanted to see it, but Du Plessis dominated again, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was the rightful king at 185 pounds. And that's when the collision course became inevitable. 2 men, 2 streaks, 1 belt. The only fight that mattered, Du Plessis versus Chimaev. When the fight was announced for UFC 319, the MMA world erupted. International Fight Week made the hype even bigger, with fans speculating endlessly. Some said Khamzat's wrestling would suffocate the champ in minutes. Others argued Dricus's durability and relentless pressure could expose the Chechen's cardio in a 5-round war. Both men kept their trash talk sharp but subtle. Khamzat promised he would smash anyone who stood in front of him. Du Plessis, on the other hand, delivered a line that echoed through the buildup. "I'll teach him how to lose." No one crossed the line, but the tension was thick. Every face-off, every interview, every soundbite added fuel to the fire. By the time Fight Week rolled around, the energy was electric. At the weigh-ins, both men locked eyes, neither blinking, neither budging. Khamzat looked like a man possessed, while Du Plessis smiled like someone who had already tasted the darkness and survived. Khamzat declared he would erase the champion in brutal fashion. Du Plessis shot back, "I've been to places in that cage he hasn't. He's never felt someone like me." For fans, it wasn't just a fight anymore. It was a battle of wills, and the question lingered, who would break first? When the cage door closed, the anticipation was unbearable. The crowd roared, commentators could barely contain their excitement, and then the bell rang. Chimaev wasted no time. Within seconds, he shot in, dragging Du Plessis to the canvas. The champ scrambled, but Khamzat's pressure was suffocating. The crucifix position came early, and the boogeyman started raining down short, grinding shots. They weren't knockout punches. They didn't have to be. The message was clear. This was going to be a long, painful night. If round 1 was a warning, round 2 was a reality check. Khamzat dragged Dricus down again, locking in the same suffocating control. This time, elbows slipped through. One by one, they cracked against the champ's skull. Blood trickled down, and the South African crowd favorite looked trapped in a nightmare. The commentators could barely believe what they were seeing. "Total domination," one muttered. Du Plessis had landed almost nothing. His gas tank, usually an endless weapon, was being drained by constant defense. The underdog story many fans wanted wasn't happening. This was a one-man show. By round 3, it wasn't about who would win. It was about survival. Khamzat wasn't just beating Du Plessis, he was erasing him. Every takedown attempt landed. Every scramble was shut down. Du Plessis was left on his back, eating shot after shot. By round 4, the stats were jaw-dropping. Hundreds of ground strikes landed, control time that felt endless. Analysts whispered about history being made, records broken in real time. And yet, through it all, Du Plessis refused to quit. He kept moving, kept trying, kept surviving. But surviving isn't the same as winning. When the 5th round started, the champ looked exhausted beyond belief. Khamzat looked fresh, as if the fight had just begun. Another takedown, another crucifix, another barrage of punches. The crowd knew it. The corner knew it. The world knew it. This was not a contest anymore. It was a coronation. As the final horn sounded, Du Plessis sat bloodied and broken. Chimaev stood tall, untouched, screaming into the night. The scorecards told the story, 50-44, a clean sweep, pure domination. All the trash talk, all the confidence, all the predictions, none of it mattered. Chimaev didn't just beat Dricus Du Plessis, he erased him. The man who said he'd teach Khamzat how to lose spent nearly 20 minutes trapped on his back, helpless against an avalanche of strikes. Fans who doubted the Boogeyman had no choice but to believe. When the belt was wrapped around Chimaev's waist, the arena was silent for a moment. Not out of disrespect, but out of shock. Everyone had just witnessed the birth of a new era. So what does it all mean? For Khamzat Chimaev, this wasn't just a win, it was a declaration. He's no longer just the undefeated phenom, he's the middleweight king. Talk of double champ status suddenly doesn't sound far-fetched. Pound for pound rankings? He might already be #1 in the eyes of many. For Du Plessis, the story is different. He's tough, he's durable, but in this fight, toughness wasn't enough. The question now is, can he rebuild, or was this the peak of his reign? Either way, UFC 319 left no doubts. A torch was passed. Some fighters chase greatness, others embody it. At UFC 319, Khamzat Chimaev showed the world exactly which one he is. The Boogeyman didn't just step into his first title fight, he conquered it, leaving behind a trail of domination that will be remembered for years. But now, a new question hangs in the air. If Khamzat can smash the champion like that, who in the world can stop him?